Now, regular viewers are probably fed up of hearing me harping on about this trail shoe, the brilliant Xodus Ultra 2 from Saucony. Now, I've been a big fan of this shoe ever since I took the original version straight out of the box and run 80 miles in Endure 24 and didn't have any issues to speak of. No blisters, no hot spots. The shoe just performed really well. And ever since then, it's kind of been my go-to trail shoe for any long, challenging, tough trail races, including the TDS at UTMB. However, there is a new contender in town, a young upstart, shall we call it, and it is the Agility Peak 5 from Merrell. Now, I really do enjoy running in these, and I've used them for my last several long runs. So I suppose the question is, which pair is better? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's dive into a Run4Adventure head-to-head video. Welcome back to all our wonderful viewers. It's great to see you again. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. So just before we dive into the head-to-head video and find out which pair of trail shoes comes out on top, if you are enjoying the content that we're producing and you're finding it helpful but you're yet to subscribe, then maybe today is the day. Super simple to do just by clicking on that little red box down there in the corner, and it is completely free, but it is a massive help to the channel and greatly appreciated. So the way this comparison video is going to work is I'm going to break it down into sections. So the first one being, we're going to go through some stats. So I'm going to talk about the price, the weight, the heel offset, things like that. And then we're going to dive a bit deeper into midsole construction, upper performance, and then finishing up with the outsole when it comes to grip and traction. And by the end, after all of that, we should have a clear winner. Pulling up the stats of the two shoes is crazy how similar they are. And it's just dawned on me, that's probably why I really enjoy running in both of them. So the weights are pretty much identical, there's only 2 grams in it. We've got the same heel offset and we got very similar stack heights on the midsole. So nothing in it really. I guess probably the biggest difference between the two is that the Agility Peak 5 retails here in the UK for £5 less at £140. So I guess that means that these just creep out into an early lead when it comes to the stats. Moving on to upper construction and performance, and again, it's been very similar in both trail shoe models. For me, just the right level of padding around the ankle collar and in the heel, and we've pretty much got the same thin gusseted tongue design on both shoes, and it's given me a good lockdown around my midfoot. I'd also say that the mesh fabric used on them has been nice and breathable, and I haven't had any overheating issues in either. However, I have been a big fan of this SBR mesh that's been used in several places on the Merrell upper. Seems to handle moisture really well. If it's because your sort of feet are sweating because it's hot weather, or you're out there running on the trails in wet, rainy conditions, it seems to do a really good job. Also, both shoes have got a toe bumper, so a bit of added protection on the toe. However, I think it is a little bit more substantial in the Merrell shoe. So again, when it comes down to the upper, very, very similar when it comes to fit, comfort and performance. But I think the Agility Peak 5 does creep out in front again, but it was very, very close. Moving down to the midsole, and this is where we do see a few differences between the two. Firstly, the Agility Peak 5 comes with a 100% float ride midsole with Flex Connect technology. For me personally, this has given me a really good balance between sort of comfort and ground feel. So definitely enough cushioning in there to soak up long miles on any surface, even if it is long sections of tarmac. But because we got those flex grooves worked into that midsole construction, still feels nice and stable, nice and nimble when you're running on more technical terrain. Whereas the Xodus Ultra 2 comes with a dual compound setup, so you actually get an internal core of Saucony's performance-based foam Power Run PB to give you high levels of energy return, and then that's been wrapped in their standard Power Run foam, which is a little bit firmer to offer you some extra durability, but also to make the shoe feel a lot more stable underfoot when you're running on uneven ground. Now, I've found both midsoles extremely comfortable when it comes to the cushioning, and they've both handled those long runs on a big mix of different terrain really well, and I'd happily run either of these shoes over any distance. But I do think having that core of Saucony's performance-based foam Power Run PB in the Xodus Ultra does give you a little bit more bounce, a little bit more energy return compared to the Merrell's midsole. So happy to say that the Xodus Ultra 2 has actually won one of the categories, and it's come out on top when it comes down to midsole construction. The last comparison we're going to make is the all-important outsole. So on the Xodus Ultra 2, you get a Power Track rubber outsole with a pretty aggressive sort of chevron lug pattern, and we've got Saucony's brilliant flexible rock plate worked into the forefoot there, just to give you a bit more underfoot protection when you're running on rocky trails. However, in the Agility Peak 5, you get the brilliant Vibram Mega Grip rubber. Now, if you've ever run in a trail shoe with this on the outsole, you'll know how grippy it is when you're running on rocky trails or wet rocky trails. But Merrell have gone one step further, and they've added this nice chunky 5mm aggressive lug. So personally, I think it really does offer you the best of both worlds, and it's one of the most versatile outsoles I've had on a trail running shoe. So you probably guessed it already. Yep, the Merrell Agility Peak 5 is going to take top spot when it comes to outsole performance. Now, if we take a quick look at the breakdown, the Agility Peak 5 won when it came to price. It just about sneaked ahead with upper construction. The dual compound midsole on the Xodus Ultra 2 just about won midsole performance, and these definitely came out on top when it comes down to this brilliant Vibram Mega Grip outsole. So if my maths is right, that means that these have taken 3 of the 4 comparisons. So the Merrell Agility Peak 5 has won. It is a winner. It's taken top spot away from the brilliant Xodus Ultra 2 from Saucony, and at the start of the year, I never thought I'd be saying that about a Merrell trail shoe. So a shock result in today's head-to-head video. I bet you never thought a shoe was going to come along and knock the excellent Xodus Ultra 2 off of that top spot. Don't get me wrong, I still really enjoy running in those, but I've been really impressed with how these have performed. I really like the level of cushioning and comfort from the midsole. The upper really hugs my foot shape well, and then we got that added bonus of that nice chunky 5mm aggressive lug that's going to give me a lot more traction when I'm running in muddy conditions. That is a wrap on another head-to-head video here at the channel. Really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope you found it helpful. Don't forget, if you did, to like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. It really is appreciated. We'll be back here very soon. And as always, stay safe and keep on running. And we've got pretty much the same sort of thin gusseted tongue in both uppers. Also, I can't remember what I'm going to say. Pulling up the stats on both shoes, it's crazy how similar they are, and it's just dawned on me. That's probably why I really enjoy running in both of them. So, sort of feet are sweating in hot weather, or you're just out there running on the trails in wet, rainy conditions, it seems to do a really good job. Another thing, last.